Hey, it's Carrie here, Get Your Vibe Right, and I recently had a request from one of my subscribers to make a video about how do we make genuine friendships as adults. Such a great question. And specifically, he asked, what vibe should I be putting out if I want to make the new people that I meet into genuine friends? And I love this question. Of course, I'm the Get Your Vibe Right girl, so this is right up my alley. And I immediately started thinking about, well, what vibe do we put off when we meet new people? Like, what could it be that's either having them convert into friends or maybe deterring them from really getting to know us? And I, first of all, immediately started thinking about our subconscious mind and the programs that we have, and even the sort of instinctual biological things that are going on that we don't often think about consciously at all, but are almost always going on in every interaction. So at a very base level, we are programmed and predisposed to put our safety and survival above all else. And our safety and survival is dependent upon us being able to overcome obstacles. And sometimes those obstacles are other people. So we're sort of biologically predisposed to, the minute that we encounter new people, size them up, right? We do this all the time. We probably don't think about it. But men, most of you will walk into a room of people that you don't know, that you have no knowledge of, and immediately size up the men in the room and ask yourself this question: can I take him? Can I take him either with my intellect or with my strength? So this puts us in a position to be having to play out and prove whether or not we can take this person in the ensuing interactions, right? So we will often get into that game of one-upsmanship. Somebody will share a story and you'll be like, oh, well, you think that's good or bad. Wait until you hear about me. And we try and put ourselves a notch above them, right? Or sometimes maybe we'll put them down, something that they say, or we'll kind of diss on them a little bit so that we feel like we have that notch above. And I'm not judging this at all. Most of this is completely unconscious. And it's all about sort of finding our level in the group and making sure that our base instinct for safety and survival is taken care of, and we know that everything's cool. But think about it. If in the first few minutes that you meet someone, they are acting in a way where they're trying to put themselves over you, where they're trying to be better than you in some way, it's kind of off-putting, right? Like, we don't like that person. We don't want to get to know that person. They're not making me feel good about me, right? They're trying to be better. They're trying to put me down. So this is one of the things that's going on under the surface that oftentimes is not the vibe that we want to be putting out. And it's something, once you're aware of it and you're conscious of it, you can overcome it. Now, women, you're in a little bit different category. Most women will walk into a room, size up the women in the room, and ask herself, can I outcompete her? So can I outcompete her either in beauty, right? Or in intellect sometimes, or in some kind of skill. This goes way back to the hunter and gatherer days where we all come from, where, we wanted to get the best biologically predisposed genetics for our child, so we would have to outcompete the other women around us to snag the best guy who's gonna make the best baby. And I know this sounds ridiculous, you guys. Like, I totally get it. You're like, Carrie, it's 2023. We don't work that way anymore. Like, we've evolved way beyond that. No, fact is, we haven't really, our basal instincts haven't really evolved beyond that. They're always the thing that's in play first, unless we bring them into our consciousness and we consciously override them. So instead of walking into a room and trying to either outcompete or be better than somebody in the room, show up and try and be the most genuine person in the room. people respond to us when we're human and humble. And that means that we have to acknowledge, we don't have to like announce it or shout it right when we come into the room, but we all have our faults. We all have things, we all have our fears, we all have those things that we maybe don't like about ourselves that we don't want other people to see because we think they're not going to like them either. When in fact, those are the things that draw people to us because they have the same things. They have fears too. They have flaws too. And when they see somebody who isn't afraid to acknowledge that and expose that in a way, they feel safe with that person. They start to trust you. And those are the types of things that turn acquaintances into friends. When you represent a safe space for them, when you represent somebody who's not going to judge them or put them down or try and be better than them in some way. So that is version 1 or chapter 1 of this little series here, is keeping in mind that when you encounter new people, you're predisposed to kind of act in this way. And now your task is to override it. Recognize, oh my gosh, I almost jumped in right there with my better than you story. Or I almost put that person down to make myself look better. And catch yourself before you do. And just remember, human and humble. If I'm genuine, I am way more likely to develop genuine friendships out of this encounter.